Well, hello. I'm going to have a look at cable today. Roll the intro and I'll show you. Hi, welcome to the channel. If you haven't been here before, my name is Langers and I am the Scruffy Trader. And what I'm trying to do is kind of put trading in the real world. Maybe give you a little insight into what I do for a living. So if that sounds good, please click the little subscribe button, smash the like, and if you want to see more, click the little bell as well. Genuinely helps. So what am I looking at today? Well, I did a video a little bit earlier on for Paul. Little salute to you, my friend, in the Telegram group. Because we were kind of looking at cable this morning. And the guys are all getting all excited and one thing and another as they do. And I was saying wait. Because the open is an incredibly dangerous time to trade. And if you are trading the open, you'll find the market will push that little bit further before it actually goes the way you want. So it's now 10 o'clock in the morning and it's still cooking. It's still not quite there yet. So what I'm going to do is if I flash up my screens, I shall show you. You see, this has been on a royal buy up for hours and hours and hours. As you can see, it's not even looked back, and it's broke a key level, and I've got some parameters in that I want to check on later on. So what I'm essentially looking at, I'm waiting to see signs of rejection. Now it is topping here a little bit, but because of the massive buying pressure, I'm a little bit dubious to enter at this moment in time. Reason being, I want to see what's going on. So many times as traders, you just jump in where angels fear to tread, and all that happens is you end up sitting on a lot of heat for a long time, and eventually when it does come back, because you've probably got the right idea, you're happy just to get out at break even, a pip or two over where you got in, and it kind of defeats the object. And it's one of the reasons why I scale a lot and average in, because that relieves that kind of pressure. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to drop a couple of zones into this, because I can see that there's a makeup starting to form. Now it's very simple. There's no scientific reason behind these zones apart from they're just wrapping around the key level. My levels are very important. The levels are the key element as opposed to the zones. But the zones give logical stall points that I'm interested in looking at. And that's what they're there for. Okay, and they do. And as you can see, this is pushing. Now if that comes on the underside of this, I'll be looking for entries between there and there. So somewhere between that line and that line, kind of look to get in, and then I'm looking to get out down here somewhere. But that's assuming it's turning at this point. At this moment in time, we don't know. And I'm definitely going to be sitting watching this for a little while. I'm not going to be entering just yet. Okay. And you can see it's pushing up. And why is that, I hear you cry? Well, there's a couple of reasons. Well, one, I need a coffee, because one of us in this office isn't doing her job very well. We'll find out. Wait.
I'll get you one.
You get me one. See that? See that? See that subtle hint there? She's going to get me one. Ha ha ha. Talking of which, if she's going to get something. The weather's getting warmer.
Nice.
Go on.
It's too cold. I don't know about the king.
She cow. I'm trying all the time, you know. I mean, it's crap at our age. I mean, who knows? I suppose I'll just have a moment.
Well, hello. Ding dong.
It was a good moment. Sorry, I am a child. I do love all of that. And I love my toys. Got all sorts scattered around here. And I know it sounds daft when you see me do things like that. But it's what you're seeing on the screen right now is the very reason that I do it. You see, it's very easy to just say, right, it's there. I can see it's bouncing a level. My stochastic says this. My MACD says that. I'm going to get in. Well, if that's the case, are you profitable? And I'd be interested to see in the comments if you are. Because my greatest gift as a trader is patience. You know, I've learned the hard way not to press the button all the time. And I've watched the guys this morning when I'm talking in the Telegram group. And they're wanting to be in all the time because they're at the screen. So they naturally assume that they have to press the button. No, you don't. Your job as a trader is simply to end the day with more than you started with. So you start with 0 and you end with 1. Now, does it matter whether that profit came in at 9 o'clock in the morning or 5 o'clock at night, as long as it's a profit? Not really. So you just have to wait for the right time. Just think of it like fishing. You go fishing, you will sit on a riverbank for 3 or 4 hours to catch one fish. But that one fish makes your day. That's what we're doing trading. Now you pick your market and you just watch it, study it. And then when the time is right, you reel it in. So at the minute, I mean, like I say, it's 10 past 10 now. So I think we'll be able to show you that somewhere. I'm not sure whether you can see it on the camera, but there you are. It's coming up 10 past 10 in the morning. And it's not rocking as yet. So what I'm seeing is this pushing. Now if I put a pivot on, there we go. That pivot is broke the S2, but look where the R3 is. It's very close, if not bang on, the zone that I drew in. And I base my zones on the levels, and I pay a lot of attention to levels. Okay, and it's something that I bang on constantly with the squad, because to me they are king. You know, everything I do is based around it, and they do help breed my consistency. So for me, I think that is going to edge its way up. So I'm going to sort of pause it out now, and I'll come back to it later when it's ready to trade. Because otherwise I'd just be banging on. But basically what I'm waiting to do is I'm waiting to see how far that's going to move up. When it tops out, I'll be looking to enter, and then I'll grab the retracement coming down. But what I'll also be doing is I'll be monitoring the higher time frame up here to see what it's going to do. See, at the moment it can squeeze up to around here, which is the top of this. And if it does that, it could easily squeeze up into the green zone that I just marked. And as you can see, it's kind of an extended range on the 4 hour, and it's at the top end, and that's not looked back. But stranger things have happened, you know. And I did the strength meters this morning. If you look at the other video, you'll see something that I do every morning for this squad, and then I put a public one out on a Wednesday.
Groovy, baby. Groovy, baby.
The pound is incredibly strong on that meter, and the dollar is incredibly weak. But what you've got to remember is when you look at sort of any strength meter, whether it's the one that I make up or from Finviz, etc., it only shows movement. It doesn't show direction, and I think a lot of guys get caught out with that because they immediately think, yeah, pound strong, I'm buying it. Okay. How do you know it's not at the top of its scale? You don't. You just know at that moment in time it's strong. So if you find the one that's weak, then what you're looking for is that, the movement between the two. But if you have two currencies that are sitting together, there's nowhere for it to go. It's kind of the way I look at it anyway. So I'll pause this now and I'll come back to you when it's ready to trade. Okay guys, so kind of come back to it. It's starting to show signs that it's ready to cook. So we're going to put a couple of orders just to get into here and here and leave some ready to maybe push over if I need to retrace. So let's just get a couple of orders whacked in very quick. Yep, wrong way. One there. Another one there. Okay. So what I'm doing is, there's enough room, as you can see, before it hits this level. Now, I don't genuinely trade through these too much. Because it's a bit of a roadblock. However, this thing is been on a royal journey up, so may well be able to catch a quick bounce, and that's kind of what I am working on at this moment in time. So there's a quick 50 quid, and what we're going to do is we're going to pull that one down to the R1, which is down here, kind of there, just to give it a bit of grace. And why is that? Well, the R1 is here, which is a pivot point. So if it breaks through, it's going to try and push here, but that's the outer extreme. So just brushing the tops of these candles is a little bit safer, shall we say. So that's why we're looking at that moment in time. Now, because we've got all day to trade with this, and I'm pretty much only going to be looking at cable today, this has a chance to come down, bounce, take an order out, go back up, and then come back down again. Now, if I can catch that bounce and bank a little bit of money, result. But if it kept on going and cracked onto this, then result. You see, so that would give us a reasonable amount, and then an opportunity to get in a bit later. Now, I look for about 200 quid a day, and I only really trade Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, so it's about 600 quid a week, and that's a half decent wage, you know, and that's all I'm looking for. I mean, I did okay yesterday if you were looking. There you go there. Did my 200 quid. It was a bit of a tough day yesterday. It was kind of a grinding day. It just kind of just ground along. It didn't have any real explosive moves with it, but it did its job. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to let this play out, and I'll just leave the camera running, and we'll kind of come back to it at the end, and I'll explain where I'm getting in and where I'm getting out, because the markets are fluid, and as much as it's very easy to say, oh, I'm just going to get in here and I'm going to get out down there, it's not quite as simple as that. You've got to manage your trade, and you'll see that, and you'll see me manage the trade by carving off, adding in, all sorts of different things that I do. And why do I do it? Just capitalizing on the moves. And what I'm trying to do is get as much money out of it, relatively low risk as I can. And the idea of breaking up the trades, as you see in this moment in time, is it allows me to manage the trade without too much effort, because a lot of it will do it itself. Because if it hits that, fine, great, don't have to worry about it, it'll close itself out. Comes down, hits that, great, close itself out. And my ideal situation is once these have done and it's settled itself down, I'll maybe looking to re-enter this later on this afternoon. However, if it goes against me, I am happy to average in anywhere between these two zones. So I'll put extra orders in here, extra order in there. And the trick is the stop is always in the same place. So essentially all I've done is I've put my toe in the water, shall we say, to see what's going on. If I'm right, result. But if I'm wrong, and I'm kind of expecting to be wrong, because the market always goes against you at the start, I can then look to get in at a better price rather than putting all my eggs in one basket on one go. So there's the phone ringing. So I'll just let it play out and I'll catch you all soon. And that is that, guys. Stopped out. Happy days. Let's have a look, see what the scores on the doors were. I can definitely live with that. That is a good result for a couple of days. I don't think anybody can deny that. Happy, happy, happy. So what you've actually seen do is followed through exactly what I said I was going to do. Stayed between two areas. I added extra orders in as it was carving off. You'll see some of them, in fact I'll flick that back. You'll see some of the positions are down to £1. And really what that is I've let those run, banked a decent amount of money from the rest of the position and used that money to open up new positions as the market's bouncing up and down. You know, I'll quickly show you. You see, we were entering in here, and as long as the price stayed between those two areas, I was happy to catch these bounces all in a single direction because I had faith that this was going to drop down into these areas that I marked out, and it's pretty much on the money. So quite happy. Some of the guys did reasonably well with it as well. I should have a little screenshot that I can pop on for you here. There you go. a couple of screenshots from the guys in the Telegram, because I was talking them through this particular trade as well. Because this morning got a bit excited because they saw where it was at, and it flashed up on my strength sheet. You'll have often seen that. Here it is here. And that sheet pulled out cable as a high contender.
No way!
And once I'd made my decision that this was the right trade to be, it's a case of one setup, one trade, one wage. Yes, there's multiple positions, but the setup is essentially one.
Isn't that logical?
And that's the fruits of my labour. So it's been a good day, just carrying on. The reason why I do these videos is just to show consistency, and also to show that I don't hop around the market too much. I look for one trade. And when the guys were looking at this, originally they started looking at it around 10 to 8 this morning. I didn't enter this for hours. I sat and watched it till it was ready. And patience is the key. It genuinely is the key. So with all of that, guys, as always, do what you love and the money will follow. See you all on the next one.